Well, hello, it's Moon Griffon again. Great to have you back on our podcast right here on the Moon Griffon Show. Appreciate you being part of it. Don't forget to subscribe, tell a friend as we talk about national issues and things that I think matter to you and me. Always having a little bit of fun, a little bit of cutting up, but that's just me. Anyway, my name is Moon Griffon. I do a radio program. You can hear 9 to 12, Monday through Friday, a.m. Go to moongriffon.com, moongriffon.com. You can say listen live, pick up all the great stations that we're on in basically Louisiana. But this is more of a national podcast, and we're glad you're back with us. And we appreciate it. Make sure you tell a friend. A little bit different type show today. I know we just finished with the big weekend in college football, and we got the 14th for the playoffs. I am a big college football person. Love it. Love to watch it. Love to read about it. Follow all the teams. I've been more of an SEC guy from the South, but I like watching it all. Big Ten, Pac-12, ACC, you name it, Sun Belt Conference, and of course the SEC. And I love watching it. But I noticed something, and I've been noticing this for many, many years, that the media in sports is pretty much like the media in the political side and the news type people. They all lean to the left. They don't, it's like they don't like winners. And I just noticed they crank stuff up and start stuff, let social media run with it, okay? And then they start doing stories on it. So you're saying, what does this got to do with college football? Well, give an example. So last weekend we had all the big games, and had a bunch of big games, and the SEC championship and the ACC championships, all the championship games. And then the committee got together and picked what they call a Final Four. And the Final Four is Georgia at 1, Michigan 2, TCU is 3, and Ohio State is 4. And Alabama got kind of left out looking in. And that's what I'm going to start with. You know, it's funny. I've been following sports for a long time. I'm a big sports addict. Had an interview the other day with guys. A lot of you people ought to know, especially if you know anything about college baseball. We had a great interview with Skip Bertman. Skip Bertman was a legendary baseball coach for LSU. He put together a dynasty basically in the 90s, and he won 5 national championships. He's a classic guy, but he was right. He wrote a book. And what I did was we had a chance to interview him. And I love those type of interviews. You got to understand, when I say I'm a sports guy, I'm a sports guy. And I grew up 20 minutes from where Skip Bertman coached his LSU Tigers. And so I always been intrigued. And me and my brother Steve, we both intrigued by greatness. How do people get to a level and maintain it and stay there? Okay. Bertman mentions Nick Saban. Now, before my LSU fans trip out, okay, we pull for the Tigers, but I have always been a Nick Saban fan. I've always been a Coach Saban fan. One of the reasons is he's one of those guys, like Skip Bertman, he took his programs to a certain level. And not only did he take them to a certain level, he kept that level. He kept that level of commitment. He kept that level of a dynasty type coach. He kept greatness all around him. And he and Bertman are people that they really drove their teams to be what they are today or what they were then. So you said, what does that got to do with it? Well, I kind of got intrigued over the weekend watching this thing unfold. About Thursday or Friday night, I'm starting to get back into it and watch it. And I'm noticing all the sports announcers, much like the national media, Bama's out, Bama's out, Alabama's out, Alabama's out. And that was all the buzz was from all the people that were picking who was going to be in the Final Four. They didn't want Alabama in. They wanted Alabama out. They sick of Alabama. They're just sick of them. So they wanted Alabama out. Now, I'm not saying Alabama should have been in or should have been out. That's not where I'm going with this. What I'm telling you is that the media started. Well, by the time the weekend worked its way through, and TCU and USC were in the final top 4, and they both lost, and there are people that felt like Alabama should have been in there. Now, I'm not saying they should have not, but they just said that. So I noticed that the media was doing it. So what did the media do? The media picks up the phone on Saturday night and halftime of one of the games. It was Michigan and Purdue. And they call Nick Saban. They call Coach Saban. Now, listen, Coach Saban, no matter what the critics say, is probably the greatest football coach of all time. Doesn't matter. Don't matter what I think, you think. In my heart, he is. He really, really has created something special, something we may never see again. Who knows? Kirby Smart may do it because Kirby Smart in Georgia's on the road right now. But it was amazing. They started on TV asking Saban about his chances of Alabama getting in. And so Coach Saban, rightfully so, starts talking about why his team and the differences of why they ought to be in the championship. Now, you didn't have to agree with it. Some people would say oversell, but here's the kicker. The media called him. Now, what is Saban supposed to do, folks? You think Saban ought to go on national TV and go, oh, we're just not that good this year. Our kids suck. Our kids are horrible. TCU's better than us. If he'd have did that, he'd have let every kid down that's ever in the program and that would come in the program. He did the right thing. He started selling why he should be in the national championship game. It's common sense. And some of the stuff he said made a lot of sense. Now, you didn't have to buy it. But what Coach Saban was saying was all factual. There's no doubt about it. They're the only team that if they played anybody in this country in college football, the only one team that would be favored this year, and this year only, would be Georgia. I think Georgia was favored one time last year in the SEC championship game, and they got blown out. But that's beside the point. So all Coach Saban was doing was just answering the questions. And this media started calling them because they didn't want that to happen. They didn't agree. And then who got a hold of it? Filthy social media. Social media. Everybody comment. Everybody hating Saban for no reason at all. See, the people that are making the comments, I know it's a social media we live in and everybody wants their opinion. I get it. But the point is they were all off anybody that downed Saban for what he was trying to do. Coach Saban was not going to talk to committee into putting him in the playoffs because the narrative and the news people had already set up that's not happening, and we're going to make sure it doesn't happen. Just like they do in Georgia with the Herschel Walker race and Warnock race. They don't want Herschel Walker in there. They don't want to hear it. They've pounded Herschel Walker for months and months and months. So Herschel Walker, if he wins or not, who knows by the time we release this, that race may be over. But the point being is they direct the narratives and they get social media involved. And that's what's funny. So social media got involved and they started pounding Nick Saban. And I'm going, why are they pounding Saban? How silly would it have looked if Saban would have got on TV and said, well, you know what? We're horrible. Our team sucked this year. Our kids didn't listen to us. TCU's a lot better than us. If they played TCU, they'd been 25 points a favorite. How bad would it look to Ohio State, Michigan? Those teams are just better than us. In other words, he's telling all the recruits, go to those schools. No. Anybody that believes Saban should have said that, they don't need to watch sports anymore. They don't understand. These coaches are under a lot of pressure. They make a lot of money, but they're under a lot of pressure. And every time they get on TV, they're going to promote what they do. But social media and the media can't stand winners. Used to in this country, we celebrated winners. Winners, not losers, winners. And nobody's won more than Nick Saban. Nobody. Remember, I said Saban. I didn't say Alabama because he won a national championship at LSU. Coach Saban has created something, because, just like Coach Bertman, they created something because of who they are. They live it. They sleep it. They believe in it. They do something different. Tiger Woods. When I watched Tiger Woods all them years of playing golf, why was he so much better? Why was he so great? Jack Nicholson. You can go through, why are these people so good? Because they eat, sleep, dream it, and they work at it. This is all they want to do. And this is all Coach Saban wants to do. Coach Saban wasn't wrong. And the social media, as far as I'm concerned, made a royal ass out of themselves by attacking him for no reason at all. Now you can say, well, you like him. That's why you say that. I didn't say he should be in the playoffs. Hold up, I never said that. I said they're attacking the man for the wrong reason. And this is what the media does. The media starts on Thursday. The social media gets involved after they ask Saban to come on TV. Saban goes on TV, says what he says. Social media reacts again. And now, a day or two after, what are they doing? The media's writing stories. How bad Saban was, how embarrassment Saban was. Paul Feinbaum, I like Paul. Oh, that's embarrassment Saban tried to sell. What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? But here's a simple thing. The media is no different in sports media. And it's no different at all in the regular media. It's the same bunch of bull. I say, why not celebrate winners? We used to celebrate winners. It was a big deal. Now what we do is we don't like people to win all the time. And here's the thing. Alabama didn't win all the time. Bertman never won all the time. They were just consistent in their era. They set new norms of what's really gold standard. And people don't like it. So making fun of a man who's accomplished so much in the sport of college football because you upset with the way he talked to the media. It's the media that created that. They didn't have to even call. Why even call Nick Saban? They didn't have to call Nick Saban. Fox didn't have to call Saban. Okay? All they had to do was stay away from it. Don't give him a chance to get on TV. Coach Saban can't make himself be on TV. That's what I'm saying. It's all twisted. And social media and the media just beating on Nick Saban. Don't get me wrong, folks. Nick Saban, I don't know Nick Saban. Nick Saban doesn't know me. I'm a fan because I like to watch greatness. And then I like to watch greatness continue. The great John Wooden, he was a basketball coach at UCLA. I don't know if some of you folks will remember this, but they had a team in, I think it was Las Vegas. Not Nevada, but Las Vegas. The Rebels, the running Rebels. Jerry Tarkanian was the coach. And they had some great players on the team. And they played Duke, and they beat the heck out of Duke. Bobby Hurley and Christian Laettner and Grant Hill, they beat them to death. So the next year, they won a national championship. The next year, they had all those kids coming back. I believe, and I didn't go back and look at the records, I don't think they lost all year. They played Duke again in the semifinals of the NCAA tournament. Guess what happened? The same old boys that they beat down, Duke, beat them. They beat them. And they asked the great John Wooden one time, because they were saying, man, Tarkanian, he's got a dynasty he's building in Las Vegas. He's building a dynasty. They won one championship in a row. That's how most people win them, and win them one in a row. And they asked Coach Wooden, what do you think about this dynasty? And he said, well, anybody can win one championship in a row. And he was right. He was right. To do what John Wooden did, to do what Nick Saban's done, don't mean it won't. Kirby Smart may be the next guy. We all thought it would be Dalbo Sweeney. He still may win some more. Now we say, well, Kirby Smart. Kirby's won one in a row. And I love Kirby. I think Kirby's great. Georgia's program is awesome. Ain't it amazing how we turn on these people for no reason at all? Okay? You can say, well, Moon, all you do is defending Saban. No, you know what I'm doing? I am defending Saban somewhat. But I'm defending the fact that the national news media and social media, they don't care about getting it right. They got their narrative. They want to beat the people that have been there always. They want them beaten. Well, guess what? Alabama didn't even make the playoffs. They didn't even have to call Coach Saban. They didn't have to call a man. But if you're going to call him, he's going to defend his players. He's going to defend his program. And number three, he's going to try to get him over the top. I don't blame him. If they would have called me and that was my team, I'd be bragging about my team. But you see, they started something that was never there. The media started in 3 days before the committee got together and finalized everything. The social media started in as soon as they saw Nick Saban say one word. There, look at him over there. He don't know what he's talking about. He's always trying to bully people. Couldn't bully him. The social media also affected the committee, because they're not going now, man, Alabama has no chance. I didn't think Alabama was going to make the playoffs anyway, not one day. But I saw this develop, and I said, you know what? This ain't right. Coach Saban deserves respect. He doesn't deserve this. If you think he's a crybaby, fine. Go beat him. How many times has your team beat Nick Saban in the last 5 or 10 years? That's what you got to ask yourself the question. Ask them all. Any of them. And I'll tell you what, the answer is going to be not too many. It's a shame. Media, sports media, social media. I mean, all this stuff is just, they don't think right. They don't look at it right. They don't even know what to ask anymore. Every one of them got an agenda. Every single one of them. So I say to Coach Saban, good sales job, Coach. Didn't make it, probably wasn't going to get in. But good sales job. And I'll back a legend. I love to see people when they get great and maintain it. We ought to want to know how he's doing it, not beat him up. But that's the media today. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the Moon Griffon Show, our podcast. You can check us out on all of the natural podcast places. YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe, Rumble, all of them. Check them out. I'm Moon Griffon. I enjoyed it. Hope you did too. See you next time.